And what we'll do is we'll go down the Cwmdu Valley now. We're going to have a look down at the far end, see whether, and so we can have a look at the fields at the far end of the valley. And as we do so, have a look at the fields as we go. And what you'll notice is that when we progressively go down the valley, the fields get better. The other thing is that the valley floor is descending away from us at all times. So if you find yourself getting into trouble at this end of the valley, it might be more appropriate to actually head back down back from where you came, back towards Cwmdu. From about halfway down onwards, the fields get progressively better, and as I mentioned, the valley floor starts dropping away from you. So in other words, it gives you more time to sort yourself out with much better fields. Whereas, of course, as I mentioned at this end, they're nowhere near as good. If you find yourself coming up the valley, back towards the airfield, you are effectively going uphill, another way of looking at it. So not only are you going up towards gently rising ground, but the field is progressively getting worse. And you need to think about that, because you want to bridge the gap between where the good fields are at one end of the valley and the airfield at the other, while still trying to cross the spine. So we're down the Cwmdu Valley now. Works pretty well in southwesterly conditions. And all I'm doing is tracking along the path which is along the top of the valley, top of the ridgeline here. It does sometimes go a bit soft in the middle as you get in the lee of Minnesota the other side. Something to keep in mind. And if you start edging out this way and it doesn't feel as if it's working very well, the sensible thing to do is turn around and go back. Keep going. If you're getting yourself down to ridgetop height, well, you've got to think about whether or not you're going to be able to get back again. If coming along ridgetop height back into the southwest bowl, if it's not working very well, as you start going up towards the spine, your field selection side of things is getting progressively worse. Coming back at ridgetop height, there's a good chance you're going to be rounding the corner at the bird patch at ridgetop height, which means that you'll be entering the bowl, southwest bowl below ridgetop height, which is where it's weaker and it's not working quite so well. However, in this case, the Cwmdu Valley is working quite well, and we're now getting to the other end of it, where we get to the screen slope. So this slope slides on the nose now. Again, this works really well in southwesterly conditions. And as you can see at this end, the fields are considerably better. Now, quite often, when we get to this end of the Cwmdu Valley, if the wave is going to set up, then you'll quite often find it here. And it can sometimes be as simple as pushing off into wind, off the end of the ridge here, and you find yourself climbing up in wave and off you go. Quite often, if it's working really well in southerly conditions, you get the bar setting up from Brecon to Abergavenny, which is going right angles to where we are now. At the moment, I don't think we have any waves. That bit's too unstable. Hopefully, a bit later on. So I head back up the Cwmdu Valley. It does look a little bit more daunting. As far as the airfield is sort of not easily visible, and you do now see the effect of the valley floor itself. You see the fields just really are not that inviting. You wouldn't really want to be putting a glider down in any of those fields in front of the nose. So if you're getting too low, you really need to think about, well, I can't progress any further, so actually I'll stay down at this end, and if I have to, then I've got the fields available to us. As it is, at 2,300 feet, indicates we've got plenty of room. As we're talking about on the way down, be very careful if you're starting to get low. Especially to get close to ridgetop height, you will start getting quite a lot of interference from the hills to the upwind of us, and it's joy and the like. Go to the left and have a look.
What height are we now, Martin, roughly?
We're now 2,300 feet above airfield.
Above airfield.
Now this is a perfectly safe height to come back at. As we were discussing on the way down, ridgetop height or 1,800 feet, starting to get on the lowish side, and you need to start thinking about your options. But if you do get low down in the bowl when it's not blowing straight into it, then the ridges won't be working quite so well. and of course you're going to get down behind the spine, and it might have difficulty then getting over the spine to get back to the airfield. So height is key. Give yourself plenty of room, plenty of time. We're just rounding the burn patch now at 2,000 feet indicated. Gives you an idea. Imagine what 1,800 feet would look like. The background is to the southwest pole.